Oh my God, can you believe it? We have some more audit updates, and on the eve of the upcoming audit that's going to be happening in Wisconsin, they're getting rid of some names off of some voter rolls. Not a non-sizable amount of names either. 205,000 names off the voter rolls in Wisconsin. What does that mean? Oh, I don't know. We don't have any of the numbers yet. We don't have any of the audit results out yet, mostly because the audit hasn't taken place yet, but it's going to September or something like that. So yeah, we're just probably a few weeks away at this point. Christ almighty. Let's not wish away the summer, but let's dive into this. Wisconsin election officials remove over 205,000 from voter rolls. Election officials in Wisconsin have deleted more than 205,000 names from voter registration rolls as part of maintaining the list they announced on August 4th. More than 174,000 of the voters hadn't voted in the past 4 elections and didn't respond to a mailing, according to Wisconsin Elections Commissions. Okay, cool. What was the margin of victory in Wisconsin? What was it? Something like, 11,000 or something in that category? It was non-aggressive 5 digits, so... Okay, 205,000, okay. The deactivation was required under Wisconsin law. Cool. That seems to be a certain crux of a certain lawsuit that was out there, but hey, who knows? Many of the deactivated voters have moved and can re-register at their new address. Okay. Some of the voters had died, and a few others asked to have their registrations canceled. Sweet. Megan Wolf, the commissioner's administrator, said in a statement, another 12,121. That just looks like a meme number, okay? Just saying, like, come on. 12121, like, something's up. Voters returned the mailing within 30 days of the receipt, which kept them active. Second group of more than 31,000 voters also was removed from the rolls, which stem from the postcards mailed to over 232,000 voters in the summer of 2019. The Electronic Registration Information Center identified the voters as having possibly moved. The bulk of the people who received the postcards updated their registration at a new address. Some confirmed that they hadn't moved. That's great. You should be keeping up on this type of stuff. Make sure that you have the most accurate information at all times, because we're told that elections, free and fair elections, are at the heart of any honest democracy. And that's all we're looking for with these audits. Just what actually happened, okay? And if there are any holes, how can they be plugged up so that future injustices, should they occur, do not, because you took the precautions beforehand. So it's good to see. I just hope that they have the voter rolls that were active and available for the 2020 election when that audit does come around. Hopefully all of those names that were taken off weren't destroyed. And the saga of the House of Democrats that walked out, that flew to Washington, D.C. to make sure that they could avoid having to vote on those racist, sexist, misogynist voter election integrity bills, and then ended up catching the coof, and a whole bunch of them got fucking sick, and then they just kind of went back with their tail between their legs to Austin, Texas. Some of them were placed under arrest because it's fun to be vindictive sometimes, especially if the people who were fleeing didn't really have a legitimate reason to do so other than just avoiding their duty and knowing that something's up. But Texas Governor Abbott orders new legislative session to pass GOP voting laws because he wants this shit on the books for 2022. That's the importance of this, okay? If you don't have a buffer session between now and the next election, those laws that get passed don't affect the upcoming election, okay? And we've seen the results of the special elections that have happened so far, and yeah, it really doesn't matter if they're on the books, but again, it doesn't really affect my opinion on this type of stuff, okay? You want your I's dotted, you want your T's crossed, and you want to make sure that counts fucking match, okay? You want to make sure that the elections were conducted under the most free, most fair, most honest, and most transparent ways that they possibly could. Fill up any cracks, plug any holes that were there in the system to begin with. And that's what these election integrity laws hope to do. Not a lot of them address the central arguments, okay, like making sure that signature matches happen every single time. Most of them just address mail-out balloting, okay? And where it's happening, where it's been enshrined as well, like up there in Illinois, they're just going whole hog, but Illinois is a lost cause at this point, and it's between them and California right now to figure out who's going to devolve into bankruptcy quicker. So what the fuck ever. I guess you're just going to have to hope that a phoenix rises out of those ashes. And a couple of illegal firearms, especially if it's Illinois. But let's take a look what Texas is trying to do. Texas Governor Greg Abbott ordered a new special legislative session to pass a Republican-backed voting law, although dozens of House Democrats are still out of the state and remain in Washington. No, I thought they were all on their way back, but whatever, okay. The announcement comes after more than 50 Democrats left Texas on July 12th to avoid voting on the election reform bill for the second fucking time. In late May, hours before the legislative session was slated to end, that's why they did that, because they don't have the votes to stop this. It's already passed through the Senate. It just has to go through the formalization process in the House of Representatives at the state level, and if there's not enough people there, you cannot conduct a law-abiding vote. That's why 50 of them, however many it was, walked out so that a quorum could not be achieved. That's what they accomplished by pulling that stunt. But if the governor keeps calling special sessions before the next officially recognized Congress gets called, you're stuck in the state of limbo. You're stuck in this perpetual state of chicken. And if it's up to me, if I'm going to be placing bets on somebody on who's going to cave first, those Democrats are eventually just going to have to be called to task. I don't think Abbott or the House or Senate Republicans in Texas are going to really stand for this shit much longer, because this dog and pony show, it's getting fucking old. Like, you can take a look. Not too many people care about this stuff anymore. Your guys' 15 minutes of fame is over. You hopped on a plane, you took a big old picture, not wearing masks, even though we're all vaccinated, and then you guys all got sick. So, sucks to suck. In mid-July, House Speaker Dade Fallon, you need a different name if you're going to be in the law enforcement and law-creating realm, my guy. A Republican announced that the lawmakers would face a threat of arrest for breaking quorum. Abbott, also a Republican, said that at the time he would persist in calling special sessions to deal with what he described as outstanding issues that need to be dealt with. I will continue to call special session after special session to reform our broken bail system, uphold election integrity, and pass other important items that Texans demand and deserve. Yeah, once again, that's just such a dereliction of duty from those House Democrats, because there are probably some other bills that are there that their constituents, the people that they were elected to represent, more than likely want passed, more than likely want fucking dealt with, okay? So you're not doing your job? Fine. Fuck them. Go ahead. Send the Rangers after them. Make sure that they get arrested and that they have to sit in their house. Otherwise, fire them all. Fuck them. Call special sessions, re-elect some people who are actually going to show up. But like it says here, the special session, he said, will begin August 7th. State Democrats immediately responded to the governor's statement. On August 5th, the Epoch Times reached out to the Democratic Party for comment. Really, we don't know if they're going to show up, but the consequences for not showing up on this one, it's going to be a motherfucker. So, and also, Texas is looking forward to be doing an audit in 13 of the largest, most populous counties in all of Texas. And, oh, buddy, the interesting finds that could come out of there, well, nobody's really contesting Texas. They just mostly want to make sure that their elections were done properly. They're not going to like what they found because, ooh, who knows, based on different evidence, based on things that are happening about the country, there are questions. There's legitimate reasons to be going back and just double checking, because I've stated it before and I'll state it again for posterity's sake. Regardless, if anything gets found out at this point, if anything gets flipped, if it turns out that somebody won an election, somebody didn't, nothing's going to happen at this point. You're going to have to go through the impeachment process in order to get somebody else different in a seat, regardless of the position. So they've already been inaugurated. You have to start going through those processes. So whenever you see a mainstream media or one of the old legacy outlets reporting that, oh, they just want to overturn the election, they're not telling you the complete story. And again, I don't know why more of this insanity is continuing to permeate through all of these different audits. Well, I have a couple of suspicions, and I think you guys can fill in the blanks as well. But Maricopa County, once again, is facing more people-defying subpoenas. How do you do that? I really don't know how you do that. Subpoenas are legally binding. they aren't just that fucking letter that somebody pushes under the door and that you can just push back, and then it's like a Looney Tunes cartoon where eventually, you know, somebody ends up with half a letter and the other person ends up on their ass with the other half of the letter. Maricopa County and Dominion refused to comply with Arizona election audit subpoenas. Again, okay, so it was the Board of Commissioners to begin with. They defied the subpoenas to take a look at the election equipment. Eventually, they were held to task for that one and had to comply with the subpoenas that were lawfully issued. And again, these are more lawfully issued subpoenas for Maricopa County specifically and Dominion, and they're like, no, cool, we're good. I was like, no, that's not how this works. It's like if you get pulled over for speeding and you're doing 200 miles an hour, you don't just get to go, okay, don't worry about it, I won't do it again, and then just roll up your window. You'll get mercilessly pistol whipped. But I've been assured that, nah, bro, it's cool. The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors and Dominion voting system, again, it's these same motherfuckers, refused yeah, and this is August 4th. This is brand new. This is not a repeat, unfortunately. Refused Monday to provide additional material requested in subpoenas from Republicans in the Arizona Senate. Republican Senate President Karen Fann and Republican Senator Warren Peterson issued the subpoenas on July 26th. So they've been also very patient in them to comply with these, but then they're like, no, we didn't get it. I guess it's stuck in the mail. Haven't been to the mailbox lately. Seeking materials to provide or to help private contractors finish the controversial audit. It's only controversial because you guys spin it that way. Of Maricopa County's November election ballots, a subpoena demanded that Maricopa County and Dominion provide routers that were used in the elections. I think that would be pretty important if you're doing at the time, what was a forensic audit, to probably finish said forensic audit. Security information for accessing tabulation machines, network data logs, mail-in ballot envelopes, certain voter registration records, and any records related to alleged data breaches around the time of the election. Yeah, exactly. I don't see what the holdup is on this one because according to Katie Blobbs, the Secretary of State, they're going to be getting completely new election equipment, even though that's the first time in history after an audit that they're going to be fully replacing any of the audited machines. So that's weird in and of itself. So if they're worried about security breaches, that little tidbit's kind of off the table. It's like they're going to be totally decommissioned anyways. So what's the holdup on this one? What's your justification for this? Maricopa County again refused to turn over the routers, citing possible security risks. That's not a thing. There is no security risk on this one. Thomas Liddy, a county attorney, said that producing the equipment could expose confidential data belonging to Maricopa County citizens. They're an audit firm. They are under confidentiality agreements. These procedures and these policies have already been put in place. There is no confidential data that could potentially be exposed, okay? These are the people who are assigned to do this type of stuff. Your claim is meritless. Or make law enforcement's communication infrastructure extremely vulnerable to hackers. Again, you're assuming the worst here, that people would get the information and then just leak it out. I repeat myself by saying they're all under contract. They're all under NDAs to not expose any of this information. So what are you talking about? It's also extremely vulnerable if you're selling steak knives because you could stab the people that you're selling them to. What are we doing here? Lydia also said that previous audits demonstrated the tabulation equipment was never connected to the internet and that the county already provided information to prove that. Oh yeah, see, use whataboutism. This is perfect lawyer speak, okay? Oh, it's never happened before, so why would it happen now? Well, we have reason to think that it has. Yeah, but it hasn't happened before. Okay, well, why can't we look into that? Because you're racists. Let's see if they actually ever comply with these subpoenas or how far this is going to get pushed along, because I can't believe we're over halfway through 2021. This audit has been going on long enough. We're supposed to be getting results potentially in September sometime. It doesn't look like it. It looks like they're going to try to push this through the special sessions, the special elections that happen in 2021, potentially to coincide with more lockdowns, to potentially push us off a little bit further, because you can't have people that have been working side by side, you know, close to one another, because the coof, whatever fucking variant will be around at that time. Because we can see Delta's finally on its dying last legs, but on the horizon, here comes Epsilon. All these motherfuckers just corrupt as shit. They're just spilling out the thing that they're apparently railing against. Anti-science views, misinformation, disinformation. They aren't telling you the truth. You have lawyers here lying to your face, but again, why do I need to be redundant? They don't tell you the full truth. And that's why I provide you guys with all the articles that I talk about. I cite things that we've been over recently, and I tell you when to look back. If there's anything that I say or claim that could be disputed, it's because I know this stuff, okay? This is not me being cocky. I know this stuff. This is my job. I do it every fucking day. And I like to think that I'm pretty good at it. So we'll follow this as it continues on. I don't think that the drama with Maricopa County is going to be ending anytime soon. And then just what awaits us for Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. It's going to be a doozy, and I can't believe we're going to be talking about the 2020 election potentially into 2022. Oh my fucking God. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.